Formula.
Welcome to the Studio Success Formula Podcast, the business school for dance studio owners. And now for your host, Clint Salter.
Hi there, studio owners. It's Clint here. Welcome to another episode of the Studio Success Formula Podcast. Now, I hope you checked out last week's episode where I talked about the one thing you need to do in your studio, the one phone call, actually, you need to make in your studio to increase your attention by at least 5 to 10% in your studio. If you missed it, make sure you check out studiosuccessformula.com so that you can go back and listen to it. It was a cracker of an episode, if I do say so myself, and we had so much cool feedback, great feedback from it through Facebook and also to our email inbox. So thank you so much for taking the time to reach out to say that last week's episode was super helpful. Now, this week is going to be an interesting one, and this week I'm going to share with you the number one reason why your studio isn't growing. I'm going to share with you exactly that. Why I believe anyway that your studio isn't growing. Now, if you're new into the studio game, congratulations. Maybe you've just started up in the last dance season, or maybe you've been going for 1 to 2 years, and you kind of have some students, but kind of the revenue's not growing. Maybe you're not paying yourself a wage, which I know is really common for many dance studio owners. And you're like, why isn't it growing? Well, I'm going to share that with you today. And so I know when I started out my studio, the one thing I didn't want was lots of staff. I didn't want lots of people, part of what I was doing, because I didn't think of myself as a manager or a leader. I was a dance teacher, and I wanted to teach dance, and I wanted to have students in my studio, and I wanted to do what I loved. And I thought I could do everything myself as well. At that point, I was only 16 when I started my studio, and I really thought I could run the world alone. Now, 14 years later, I couldn't be more on the other side of the spectrum if I tried. But going back, it only really took me about 2 years into running the dance studio with my friend that we knew if we wanted to grow our dream studio, right? If we wanted to build that studio that we had in our heads and on our vision boards when we started, then we were going to need some help. Hiring, I find, is one of the most exciting and scary processes in running a dance studio. Do you agree? Do you kind of get that excitement of like, I don't need to do everything myself if I hire someone, and you get super excited, but then you're like, and then I have to find the right person, and what happens if they're not the right person and it doesn't work out? And I've put all this time and money into training them. Has anyone ever felt like that? You have to continually fix their mistakes. But then on the other side, which I just talked about, is you're like, I get to delegate everything, and I get to work on, what I really love and my strengths, and I get to focus on growing the studio and leave this other stuff that isn't my strength and maybe isn't a high value task over to someone else. Now, I want you to think about what you do during any given week in your studio. Have a think about that for a second. What do you do on any given week? Now, you're probably thinking, Clint, everything. And I get it. I totally understand. But as the CEO of your studio, I want to ask you, are you doing CEO tasks, or are you doing admin assistant tasks? Just sit with that for a minute. As the CEO of your studio, because guys, you are the CEO of your dance studio, are you doing CEO tasks? Are you doing those big tasks? Are you creating revenue streams? Are you working on program creation? Are you working on new student attraction strategies? Are you working on building and increasing your customer satisfaction? Or are you doing admin tasks? Are you sending out overdue fee reminder emails at 2 a.m. in the morning? Yeah, I said CEO then probably about, 10 times. Have you ever thought of yourself as a CEO? Just take that in for a minute, because that's exactly what you are. And I don't know about you, but I don't know any other CEOs in the world that are gluing sequins on costumes or responding to text messages about the wrong fairy tight size at 11 p.m. And I'm just kind of playing with you a bit there. And Yeah, I am. I'm being a little bit smart, but this message is what I want you to really, really get. And if you want to build a thriving business, you are going to need some help. I really want you to accept the fact. I mean, I did many years ago is, I kind of got over myself and I accepted the fact that, hey, you know what? I can't do this alone. I can't impact the amount of people that I want to on my own. I'm going to need some help. And nor do I want to do it on my own either. So many people feel proud to say, I worked 70 hours this week. I've had 2 hours sleep. Don't feel proud about that. Feel ashamed. You need to feel proud about being able to build a team. I've built the most amazing team this is what you want to be able to say. I've built the most amazing team that love what they do, that contribute so greatly to our studio, to our vision. And it is awesome to be on this journey with other people. That's what you need to be proud about. Not like working your little butt off every single week. For what? To run yourself into the ground, to get sick, to not see your children, your husband, your wife, your family. We shouldn't be proud of that, but we need to change. Something needs to change. And so what sparked this conversation today is that I was speaking with one of our inner circle, one of our mastermind members last week, about how to implement a team growth plan over the next 18 months in their studio. And so I wanted to share with you some important roles that when a studio has recruited, has the opportunity to really grow their studio. Now, there are many roles you can have in your studio, right? There's a whole list of them. But today, I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what I like to call the big four, the ROM, I call them, the ROMB, the ROM, the big four roles that you need in your dance studio. And I want to share with you what I've seen work time and time again. Since I kind of created this concept, and it's something that I worked on in my studio and then have been working with studios the past nearly 7 years now, working on this concept of ROM. It's also generally the order I will suggest studio owners hire, and it depends on the studio's model, but this is kind of the order I hire, and there's different things in between, but here are the four main roles: ROM, R-O-M-B. So if you've got a notepad, please write down ROM down the side of a page. So when I say what R stands for, you can write it and then you can write the notes. So ROM, the first one is R stands for, who can guess it? Receptionist. Now, I always recommend that your first hire, straight out of the gate, right, is a receptionist. Someone who can greet your dance families, answer any questions while classes are on, and also in between conversations can help you with some admin work. Now, what I love this person being is obviously really energetic and friendly. You do not want a receptionist that's there to be there, that has their head down or stuck in their iPhone on Facebook or on their computer and doesn't acknowledge customers. The main responsibility of your receptionist is to be your, what I like to call DOFI, Director of First Impressions, DOFI. We're all about acronyms today. Your DOFI, your Director of First Impressions. So this is the person, when someone walks in, they literally will light up the room with their energy and say, hey, good morning, good morning, Mrs. Smith. Hey, little Chelsea, how are you today? You're ready for your ballet class? Oh, you've got some new shoes. That is your receptionist. Okay, they are energetic. They love what they do. They love people. They love engaging, and they're a performer. They can turn it on. If they're not having a great day, you would have no idea. Okay, they put the customer first in everything that they do. I also like them to be computer savvy so that they can help you with some admin tasks in between speaking to clients. Now, their number one priority is talking to those dance families, making them feel amazing, answering any of their questions. And then there's some secondary tasks, admin tasks, that they can help you with. Now, that's a receptionist. The second role, the O, stands for office manager. Now, this person is your king or queen of administration and logistics. So while managing the receptionist, because they're going to manage the receptionist, they also manage your accounts, oversee customer service, teacher coordination, customer communication, and the list can really go on. This role is what you make it. Ideally, this person is a full-time. They would generally be your first full-time employee who work for you during the day. So you can have this person working like a 10 to 6 or a 9 to 5. I like 10 to 6 because it means that they can kind of get in for some of the afternoon classes as well, so the parents can see them and they can spend a couple of hours with your receptionist. But again, it's going to be dependent on how you set up your studio. But they essentially manage the day-to-day of your studio, and I do like them being full-time. I've seen lots of people employ a part-time office manager and they're never happy with them. I'm like, well, that's because they're part-time and it's not their priority and they're in a couple of hours a week or a couple of hours a day. I mean, let's get real here. I mean, how much time and energy are they going to put into it? So, my suggestion is make that person full-time. And when you make that person full-time, that's going to relieve you from a lot of things that you're currently doing day-to-day in your studio. And then it's just you working out what you need to be doing to grow the business, which is the conversation I had with our inner circle member. Now, number 3. Now, this always shocks someone. This is our M in ROM. So we've done R for receptionist, O for office manager. Our M stands for marketing coordinator. Now, this role is generally never thought of as being a crucial one in a studio, but I'm here to tell you that it is. Now, your marketing coordinator should be responsible and work with you on new student acquisition initiatives as well as retention strategies. I want you to think about social media, email marketing, offline marketing like shopping centers or flyer drops, studio newsletters, and all of those cool things. So your marketing coordinator is the person that brings new students into the studio and keeps them with you for years to come. That is their primary job. Come up with initiatives to market your classes, your services. Maybe you've got birthday parties, they do that. Maybe you've got a workshop coming up, they do that. They arrange the artwork with the graphic designer. They look at the marketing channels. Maybe it's Facebook advertising. Maybe it's through a strategic partner that you advertise that particular program or workshop. That's what they're coming up with. Now, I have seen this role work as a part-time job. Now, obviously, it's dependent on the size of your studio. There are a lot of great people coming out of college and universities that would really be able to help you in this area. If you can afford it though, and I hope that you can, but I also would love this person to come on board as a full-time employee because you should never stop marketing. Never stop marketing. And there's plenty to do. I'm sure you could fill up time for a marketing coordinator, and you want someone that's going to come to you though with ideas, right? You want someone that's going to come with ideas of how you can promote your program, services, and products. So number 3, marketing coordinator. Now, number 4, this is our last one in our ROM. So remember, I'm just focusing on the big 4 with you today, is a business manager. Now, your business manager is responsible for the performance of the studio, right? The performance of their studio. Their main role is to ensure you're making money and also to help you create new revenue generating initiatives in the business. They are looking at the numbers in your business every single day, and they're working with you as the CEO of your business to continually put new goals in place and achieve them. Okay, so that's your business manager. They're the big kahuna really. They sit just underneath you on the same level as you, depending on if you have a tiered or a flat kind of structured business. If you look at your org chart, your organization chart of where everyone sits, they're a big player. This person is definitely full-time. Now, you're not going to have a business manager year 1 or probably year 2 into your studio business, but this is a role that you definitely need to recruit for, and you will be paying them good money, but they will be bringing in hopefully 3 times the amount of money that you are paying them as a staff member. This person is going to be really pivotal pivotal for you to grow your business. I always have trouble with that word. And so they're the 4, right? These are the 4. There are about 8 in total of the internal roles that I suggest that you hire for the growth. So we just talked then. Let's go through them again. So you've all got them written down, I hope. Number 1 is your receptionist. Number 2, your office manager. Number 3, your marketing coordinator. And number 4, your business manager. Now, there's lots of external roles, and lots of you probably have these, like a bookkeeper, an accountant, a graphic designer, a copywriter, etc. But these are in a different category. These are your external roles. And that's not today's conversation. It's about just your big 4. And okay, so you might be kind of listening to this and thinking, Clint, I can't afford a receptionist or an office manager or a marketing coordinator or a business manager. My advice to you really is that you can't afford not to hire these people. Now, don't go out and get all 4 at once. I'm definitely not saying that. But if you don't at least have a receptionist, that's the first place for you to start. And then once you've had a receptionist for 3 to 6 months, you then may look at getting your office manager on board. I see studios who are in their 60s, right, still doing everything themselves. And they come to me often, and they're not making money. They've lost their passion. They're still not seeing their families. And they're kind of thinking to myself, wow, what have I been doing? I really don't want that to be you. So I want you to start planning for growth, and not just growth in your studio, but that's going to come by growing your team. So I hope this has inspired you just to start thinking about growing a team in a different way. Don't think about it as a cost. Think about it as an investment in your business to be able to really make your dream, that studio you've always wanted, really come alive. I can tell you now that, getting over that bridge of not wanting to hire people, and I just want to have a small team, in my studio, and since then in the 3 other businesses that I've had, it was really been crucial. It's really been crucial to me being able to focus on the things that I love, us as a team being able to impact the lives of many, many more people that we could have ever done if it was just me alone. And I've got to say that there's nothing better than waking up each morning and just working with a group of people who are, as passionate as you are about why you're here on the world and about why they're here in this world as well, to kind of together make a big difference in the lives of others. So guys, build a team, get onto it, start putting a plan in place so that you can bring amazing people into your business, into your studio. So that's it from me today. I hope I've inspired you, or at least made you think a little bit differently about, you building your awesome rockstar team for your studio. It would make such a huge difference. If you've got any questions, or you have something that you'd love to hear me chat about on the podcast, please head to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Studio Success Formula, and post me your comments. I love to read them and hear them and get back to you. And I will see you again really soon for another episode of the Studio Success Formula podcast. Bye for now.
Are you enjoying the Studio Success Formula podcast? Then we'd love for you to share the love. We want to help more dance studio owners become go-to studios, so we'd greatly appreciate you writing us a review on iTunes. For taking the time out to do so, every month Clint will be selecting one lucky dance studio owner to receive a Power Business Coaching session. Simply visit the iTunes store today, search for Studio Success Formula, click on ratings and reviews, and then write your review. Thanks in advance. Take care, and we'll see you next time.